and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to our Tuesday night live broadcast. And 2022, we are in 2022. And if you have been on the channel for a hot second, you have heard us talk about the show that we run here. It's a weight loss show where we have a cast. They apply, they get accepted, and we walk through here on the channel, seeing them go through their journey of losing weight. And tonight, we have a cast member from season 3. This woman, oh, you picked such a good, if this is your first time here, you picked such a good video to come on for. And if you're here every week, let me just warn you, you are going to be so inspired. You are going to laugh. You might tear up. You are going to fall in love with this woman because she is by far one of the sweetest people I have ever met, who has a passion for life. She is an overcomer. She doesn't take no for an answer. And she is inspiring people around this globe with her transformation that she's in the process of. So before I tell you what she's done, I'm going to bring her on here. But before I do, make sure if you have not, you smash that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. We have all kinds of cool things happening this year. And the last thing you want to do is hear about them after the fact. I can only imagine if Krista would not have heard about the biggest transformation, where she would be if she wouldn't have heard about it. And so you want to make sure you don't miss an opportunity that could be life-changing for you. And when Krista comes on here, make sure to smash the like button, give her some love in the comments. Yeah, so without further ado, Krista, I'm bringing you on the screen. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Where are you right now? What state are you in?
I am in Minnesota, and as of this moment, it is -7, and it feels like it's -23. Always go to Minnesota.
It's awesome. So Krista Joy is a part of our season 3 cast of The Biggest Transformation. And if you haven't watched any of the shows of The Biggest Transformation, it's kind of Biggest Loser-esque in the fact of it's a group of people with accountability. They weigh in live every single week. Their butt is held to the fire, accountability. They get called out if they're not doing something, but it's 100%. We're on the 4th season right now, and we've had no failures. It's been 100% success rate up until this point. But I say all that to say, Krista Joy would come into our group, and she's one of, some people live in the cold and they don't like it. They complain about it. Krista Joy, you get excited when it snows.
I do. It's awesome, and it's beautiful. And then you get to cozy up in your sweaters and feel so comfy and have fire. It's nice.
You're so awesome. Like literally, she sent us this video one time. I'm gonna have you talk about it. You were actually crawling into a snow hole.
Oh, it's called a quinzee. It's the opposite of an igloo. So igloo, you like build it up. Quinzee, you shovel a whole bunch of snow, and then you dig it out, and you put a tunnel into it and a cave. And I was so excited because all 4 of us, my whole family could fit into it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, she messages us from the thing, the opposite of an igloo. She's like, look it, I fit in here and my whole family's in here and we still have room. Side effects of, let me tell them what you've done, because they have no idea if they're watching you right now, how freaking blown their minds are going to be. So Krista, just 17 weeks ago, started off at 247.5 pounds. And right now is down to 185.2. That is a grand total in 17 weeks of 62.3 freaking pounds.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
When I say those numbers out loud, because I mean, just 17 weeks ago, you were almost 250.
Yeah.
And now you're well into Wonderland, 185.2.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say that, like, does it register that I'm talking about you? Like, that's your mind-blowing number?
No, it doesn't. Part of me is like, what? I was 250 pounds. Oh my gosh, how did I get there? And then the other part is now, being in the 180s, I'm like, I have not seen 180s in, I'm going to guess like 8 to 10 years. My original, like, I went on and I applied for this because I wanted to be at least at 190. And so that was like my goal. And I was like, by the end of all of this, I'll be at 190. And then, like, I was like, oh, I'm losing this weight like there's no tomorrow. I can hit that goal much sooner than I thought. Like, I was thinking not after 12 weeks, like after 24 weeks, I'd be at 190. And I hit it just before season 3 ended. And then, like, I keep hitting those goals and I just like, what? I don't even know when I was last this weight.
You're so awesome. No, I mean, literally, like, I look at these numbers and I'm like, and here's the funny thing, because, there's people watching that aren't familiar with the Biggest Transformation, the show. There's people watching that this is their first time even being here on the channel. So when someone here is losing 62.3 pounds, like, it almost sounds like, yeah, what is she doing? Sucking on lemons and eating lettuce the whole time?
Right. I even had, over the holidays, I had some family members say, okay, so you've done this. Are you doing it in a healthy way? I'm like, I'm eating real food. There's nothing gimmicky. I'm just eating real food. Now, granted, I'm not going out to Chick-fil-A. I'm not going to Taco Bell. I'm not going to Culver's, right? I didn't even venture out to do something like that for a good 10 weeks into it, probably. So that made a huge difference. But yeah, I'm just eating real food.
Yeah, it's not some fad diet. It's not the 500 calorie. It's not the
Right.
lemon cayenne pepper water thing. Like, it's a
Yeah.
sustainable way of life. And so I want to rewind to 17 weeks ago, 62.3 pounds ago.
Yeah.
What did life look like then?
So I'm always a person on the go. I'm a teacher, so I'm always on my feet. Like, I'd have a Fitbit and it would tell me I hit all my, steps. But that's the life of a teacher.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I do believe that even though I had a semi-active, like, we would bike and we'd ski with our family, but I wasn't regular about it. And I think my body just got used to the active that it was because it's just my normal. And I wasn't doing much strenuous. I was just, I was moving my body, and you're told to just move your body. And I had done a challenge, not with Carmen, but with someone else like a year ago, but I didn't change my nutrition. And so I had, all the results. But, that person this summer was someone who, yeah, I biked, but I got winded. Yeah, I would go out and do walks, but it wasn't strenuous. I definitely did things that were slower. Everything was slower. It was hard to get up and down off the ground. I mean, yes, I am in my 40s, but still, I felt, maybe I'm just a little, more than I wanted to be. And so it was just slower me.
Yeah. And so when you came into this, like, obviously you heard about it through a friend who had done the season before you. And when you first heard about it, like, what was it that made you apply even for season 3? Like, what was it that made you go, I need to be a part of that?
Right. So 2 big reasons. Big reason number 1 is Matthew from season 2 is like, our family is like their family. We're family together. And I have known him since like high school. So I've always known him at this size, and seeing his transformation was spectacular. Matthew is always like a great person to talk to. So he's open, he's going to share. When he was partway through, almost all the way through his season, he runs a fireworks tent. So we were doing a fireworks tent together. And then Shane came in from season 1, and all 3 of us were working together. And I was like, this is working for these 2 guys. And I know I'm just me, but I really got to get this weight off. So maybe this is the way to do it. And the second reason why I really, really, really needed to do this is that, like, it's hard to tell this story short, so I'll try my best. But like 5.5 years ago, I felt a lump in my breast. I was 36, whatever, right? I held it off for a while. By May, I realized this is a problem, and I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And I had to go through the ringer. I had chemo, I had surgery, I had radiation. Then I had an infection from the radiation. It was awful. And then I had to have another big surgery if I wanted to redo my chest. And yeah, it was a very challenging many years. And I always had that thought of like, oh, when you have cancer, you're really sick and you lose all this weight. Nope. They put you on steroids unless you're like super sick. They put you on steroids. You're weak, but you still eat, and like you lose your taste, and you just want to taste stuff. So I just stuffed more food into my mouth in hopes that I would taste things. And so I know for a fact that the last time I was at 190, which was that big goal I had, was when I realized I was like, I have a problem here because I'm not eating. I'm not hungry. And I have this weird thing here. It looks infected. I should probably check that out. So I knew I had an infection. I was eating like yogurt and rice cakes for like 4 days straight.
Wow.
So that was the last time I weighed 190. And so there was all of that. And since my cancer was estrogen based, you can do a lot of things to get rid of estrogen, but ultimately fat produces estrogen. And so if being someone who was young diagnosed, I knew I needed to get rid of the fat. And then on top of it all, let's have more complications. So, there's a procedure they take like from your stomach and then create new chest, and that's awesome, great, fabulous. That failed. And so almost 3 years ago, I was told that I had multiple hernias from that, and I had to lose the weight. I had to get down to 190, otherwise they wouldn't fix it. So ultimately, in my head, I'm like, 91, not 190, must be the magic number. I need to get down, and I need to get down to that to have the surgery. It doesn't hurt. They said it'll probably stay that way until we fix it, but it's uncomfortable and it looks horrid. So I really wanted to get it fixed. So between like getting the estrogen out of my system with having less fat and being able to have the surgery, I knew this needed to happen. And for some reason in the past, that wasn't enough motivation. I couldn't do it on my own. And so I acknowledge I'm a people person. I'm a person that needs to walk with other people in this journey. And that was something I had told you in my application. I was like, I have to do this with other people. I have tried it on my own. It doesn't work. Needing to have surgery was not enough.
Right.
So I knew I knew I had to apply and then just pray that I got accepted.
So you see Matthew and Shane at the fireworks tent. You're like, wow, these guys are killing it. And by the way, Matthew has lost, I think 100. He's 9 months in. He's lost 120 some pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's 30 some pounds from goal. He started at 301. He wants to get down to 150 because he's a smaller framed guy. And like he's almost there. He's doing it. Like he is so freaking proud of that guy. So you and I had never met. Like I didn't know you. You didn't know me. I was just the chick helping them. So you apply, and then you get a video back. And that video is no joke, right? Because I know it's an intense program, and so I don't want there to be any misrepresentations on what it is or what it isn't. So you get the video back. And you watch the video. Was there ever a moment where you were like, whoa, am I sure?
No, because I knew I needed to do this. And I knew I needed to do it with a coach. I knew I needed to do it with other people. And I knew people who had been successful. I was like, nope, I'm doing this. Awesome. There's no question.
So so that's amazing. Because a lot of times people, once they get that video where I'm like, it's my way or the highway, I'm going to call you out. You got to show up. You got to follow directions. I don't care what you think you know. Like it's that kind of video, right? And
Right.
so I think it's amazing that you were in a place where you're like, I don't care. Just tell me how high to jump and I'll do it. So
Mhm.
you got started. And obviously you had tried things in the past. What was different this time? Because I mean, Krista Joy, freaking 62.3 pounds in 17 weeks. You lost 45.5 in your first 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Like to date, you've lost 25%, a quarter of your body that you started with not even 4 months. 4 months ago is gone.
Right.
Like that is nuts.
Mhm.
So what was different for you? Like what was different from this to all the things you've done in the past?
Well, like I said, I knew I needed to do it with other people.
Yeah.
So that was huge. Um, and I really loved how there was so much forward thinking, so much vision planning, so much like not just the now and not just like the next small goal, but the finish line and being able to see where that finish line is and imagine that finish line. And that has made a big difference for me. The other thing was like, there's just no quitting. There was this has to happen if I am going to continue to be on this earth. It
Yeah.
has to happen. And so I chose to not have that wiggle room, to not toe the line. I chose to just be determined, be there, be present. Um, and so it like to the point where I realized like things were not even a temptation for me because it wasn't even part of my thought process at this point. I was like, no, I'm determined to do this. It I made cookies at Christmas. I did not have one cookie.
So
I made
incredible.
them. I didn't because I was like, no, I need to eat according to my goals. Not part of my plan. I'm not going to do it.
And you were so in the zone. I can remember you coming into our group one day and you were like, the family needs some comfort food. I'm ordering pizza for them and I have my salad. They just need pizza. I was
Mhm.
like, look at you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, you weren't like those weren't the choices you were making just 17 weeks ago.
No. No.
And
Not
look
at
at
all.
all the strength. Look at how strong you were inside, right? Like, isn't that
Mhm.
crazy? Like, obviously, we were all designed to do hard things.
Right.
But did you know how strong you were 17 weeks ago?
A part of me is says yes because through my breast cancer journey,
Yeah.
um, it wasn't easy. Like I did not have the worst side effects, like I'll have all of that, but I definitely had a lot of setbacks. And so I knew that I had that strength in me, but at that point I had so much support that I was able to keep that going
Mhm.
and see the end line there and all that stuff. So I think in a way I did, um, but some ways I didn't.
What has been the biggest surprising thing for you going through this, losing the 62 pounds? Obviously, you're still going. What's been the thing that surprised you the most?
Um, I would say that the consistency totally works. you know how a lot of like I've had weight loss journeys before. I had lost 60 pounds before I had my oldest daughter, and that was a really long process. And this time, like I've only had 1 week where I had a gain, and it was only 0.6, right? So I have gone down every single week except for that one.
And
And
hold on, I want to stop and point out this was through the holidays.
oh yeah,
You
right.
only had to gain 1 week, and that was through Christmas and New Year's
Yeah,
and all the things, Thanksgiving, because that's huge. So I just wanted to point that out for you that
it
that was
is. And that was
one.
actually and my birthday was in October too. So I had my birthday and then I had Thanksgiving, then I had Christmas. And I think my gain was like a week or 2 weeks before my birthday. So it was not during any of those times. Um, so now I've lost track. Um,
You were saying that you only had 1 week that was a gain. Consistency has been key and
yeah.
how fast it's been.
hmm And so just being able to be consistent, like I kind of know what my body's going to do. In the past, it was like, oh, well, this week, oh, I bet I was just gaining muscle. And this week, oh, maybe it was that time of month or this week, or, there was always an excuse why I didn't lose. And, there's probably a tiny bit of truth to it because, I haven't lost 10 pounds every week. I haven't lost 1 pound every week, right? There is, that's not always consistent, but I have lost every week.
Well, I don't, I'm not good at math in public, but let me just do some math in public on my calculator. 62.3 divided by 17. You've averaged 3.6 pounds a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's been your average, which is crazy. Like, that's not slow by any means. What does your family say? What does your husband and your kids say? Because you have a husband, you have 2 kids.
I
What have
do.
they thought about all this?
It was funny. It took a really long time for my husband to notice. And but he's like, oh, now I can wrap my arms all the way around you when I hug you. And actually, one of my big, like I celebrate lots of non-scale victories, but one of my big ones happened last week and I was so excited. So I lost my whole 9-year-old daughter. I didn't lose my daughter. But we weighed her and she was like 61 pounds. So now I'm at 62. I'm like, I've lost a whole her.
And you had her on your back. You sent us a photo of her on your back. And I remember you saying, I cannot believe I was carrying this around with me 17 weeks ago, everywhere I went.
And I was like, how did I do that? It's so hard. It's not easy to walk around with all those weight.
Can you imagine shoveling snow with her on your back, going up and down stairs, doing your workouts?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to think about. So obviously you're not done. You're at 185.2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that your vision and faith has been increased on where you can go. So what's the goal for Krista Joy? Let's fast forward 1 year from today.
Mm-hmm.
We have you back on the channel. And where are you? Like, where is your health? Where's everything at? What is that long-term goal for you?
I right now I'm thinking I'll probably be about 125 or maybe a little lower. We'll see. And because I am also short. So short people don't weigh very much. And I'm really excited because just this week I scheduled my surgery that I'm supposed to have. I saw my surgeon. He was so thrilled with my weight loss. And he's like, you're going to keep going. Way to go. Yes, that'll make things really great. So I know that'll probably deter me a little bit. So I probably, if I were to keep going, I'd probably make my goal by end of May, early June. So I'm thinking it'll probably be like June or July, depending on what happens with surgery. Maybe I'll have a miracle and lots of weight gone. We'll see. But a year from now, I'm so like, even this summer, I'm so excited. Like I'm gonna go biking in the summer all the time. We're a cross country skiing family. I can't wait to go out and feel like what my body feels like cross country skiing, being able to go out and just thoroughly have fun. A year from now, I will be able to like do full jumpy jacks for a whole minute. It'll be awesome.
What I love is to see the joy and the belief in where you're going. And it's not this chore. Like, it's like, I'm going there. Like, I'm going to get there. And even how in the beginning, your biggest goal, because when we start in Fluffy Land, right? Sometimes it's hard to think about ourselves that small. Mm-hmm. Especially, have you ever been that small before?
Maybe high school.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. The smallest ever I could remember was a size 7 in the 7th grade. So to get back down there, it's like, I didn't have any adult recollection. But when you get a part of something like this and you start to let yourself dream, it's like, wait, if somebody else can, why not me? Like, I don't have to settle for less. Like, I can go be my best version of myself too. Oh, okay. So I can't end this without asking this, because there are people watching that have been where you're at, who have had health struggles, who have had cancer, people that don't have, they were, weren't people, people like us that have been overweight most of our lives. There's people that have just been overweight. Then there's people that gained weight after kids. And listen, overweight's overweight. It's all a struggle. But there's a lot of people that have given up and given in.
Right.
They've accepted where they're at. They see transformations like yours and they say, oh, that's fine for people like Krista Joy, but it would never work for me.
Right.
What would you say to that person watching that is given up, given in, looks at your story and says, oh, she's special. I couldn't do that.
Because I'm no one special. I'm just me. Like, I just think I'm just this Midwestern mom who just is a teacher, and everyone can do hard things as long as you follow directions and you just stay determined and see your goals. This is not something that is for special people.
Yeah.
Because that's not me. I'm just me. Right? This is something that as long as you are willing to put the work into it, the work comes out.
Yeah. And now you're going to be a mentor for season 4.
Mm-hmm. So excited.
How do you feel about that?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to be able to share this journey with someone else when they're at the beginning and be able to just encourage someone and say, hey, say, hey, you guys, you can do this. You can make the choice. You can do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited to be that person.
Well, Krista Joy, thank you for being on tonight. Thank you for being such a ray of light and hope and inspiration of what is possible when you commit, you go all in. You inspire me. I'm so glad that our lives were brought together, and I can't wait to watch you cross that finish line, have you back on here to talk about that. And yeah, so if you are watching, make sure to give her some love in the comments. Make sure to share this. We live in a world where people need inspiration. And Krista Joy is a living, walking, talking example of someone who didn't quit, an overcomer, and an inspiration, no matter what age you are. And so, Krista, thank you so much for being on. And for those of you watching, thank you for watching. And we will see you next Tuesday back here on the channel. Don't miss it. We have a really exciting show coming up. We're going to be doing some cooking. So you're not going to want to miss that. So we will see you next week. Same time, same place.